So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is loyalty and faithfulness in your friendship? Welcome back to Relationship Essentials. Okay, so what is loyalty and what is faithfulness? Faithfulness is remaining loyal and steadfast. Loyal, giving or showing firm and constant support or allegiance to a person or institution. Now, some words that come up when we hear faithfulness is loyalty, because they go hand in hand. And we're going to talk about today the importance of being faithful and being loyal in your marriage, in your friendship, to your children, on your job, all the way around. You just need to be a faithful and loyal person in every area of your life. With consistency, we can develop loyalty because it goes hand in hand. Now, let's look at some things about friendship, because I'm seeing this a lot. If I confide in you and tell you something and you tell everybody, that's not loyalty. And I'm going to put it out there. Because when we break trust is easily broken, and it's hard to gain it back. And it's hard to earn it. So once you've earned trust with somebody, when they confide in you, don't break the trust. Now, if you know it's a 911 emergency type of thing, like if they're trying to hurt themselves and stuff like that, and you're trying to get them some help, that's totally different. But if I go around and I tell you something that's personal, that's me being vulnerable for a moment, because I need somebody. And so if I share something with you and you go and tell my business, or you go and tell somebody that you know you should be talking to, that's breaking the code. That's disrespectful, and that's totally not loyal. And so when you're doing things like that, no, you can't expect for y'all friendship to last, because now they're looking at you like, I can't tell her nothing. I can't tell him nothing. They can't even hold water. They're gonna tell everybody that they know. And so when you have a distance between y'all, the gap is in the awkward silence is ringing so loud, it's because you broke the code. Now, there are some things to do in a friendship whenever you've spilled somebody else's tea or the beans on somebody, to get your friendship to be back the way it was. And it's gonna take some time. It just depends on how bad you want to restore your friendship. So don't break the code. Keep your mouth shut. For me, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest rating for faithfulness and loyalty in a friendship, my marriage, with my children and so forth, I'm gonna automatically give it a 10. Talking about marriage for this few minutes. When you are in a relationship with your spouse, you are dedicated to your spouse. Just like how God is dedicated and faithful to us. I mean, look at every day when we go outside and the sun is shining bright and the air we breathe is here and prevalent. God is faithful and just to love us. We must be faithful to our spouses. That means we're not looking nowhere else. You may see somebody and I'm speaking to the women now, and I'll deal with the men in just a minute. You may see somebody and he just looks so good to you, and he's handsome and on down the line. But you automatically have in your mindset, say, okay, yeah, he looks nice, but my husband can't be beat. That's because you're loyal in the looks department, and you're not gonna go over there, and if somebody passed you a note or a number, it's automatically walled up and put in the trash, and you're not gonna play with them. Why? Because you speak volume with your presence of loyalty when your husband is not around. Come on, somebody. Now, when your wife is not around, men, somebody said flirting don't hurt. Yes, it does. That opens the door to a lot of other things that you don't want to get into. Flirting is like, okay, we playing, we tempting each other, and before you know it, y'all gonna be doing things that you shouldn't be doing, which is gonna cause you to break the code, the trust, and the disloyalty will start happening, and so the infidelity will take place. And when that happens, you know, you get a bag of distrust. And so now if your marriage is able to be restored or worked out, you gotta do some work that's you shouldn't have to be doing because you done messed up. It's not worth it. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it to break your vows. Now, when you walk down the aisle and y'all accept those vows, you remember the wedding day, right? It was so glorious and beautiful. And the vows begin to come out, and you begin to make those vows to your husband or to your wife. And you said, through sickness, through health, to death do you part. That's what that word means. And your allegiance to your spouse, that's your duty. And they're dependent on you. They're dependent on you to go to work. They're dependent on you to be their best friend. They're dependent on you to be supportive. They're dependent on you to give up yourself for them, because you don't come in a relationship to what I can get from you. It's what can I do for you in this relationship. And as long as both of y'all are coming to the plate like this, then it's a win-win situation. But back to loyalty and trust. If I can't trust you, then it's not a happy relationship in a marriage. And so before you get married, those of you that are looking to get married, if you can't trust her now, if you can't trust him now, marriage ain't changing nothing but the name. It's already in him if every time y'all go somewhere, he's not faithful enough to you to give you enough respect to keep his eyes on, on the prize, which is you, then you're gonna have some problems, because it's gonna always sit up in your head like, what is he really doing when I'm not around? You gotta be faithful in every area of your marriage. So your kids didn't ask to be here, but they are. So you gotta remain faithful to them as well. They can't clean themselves up when they are infant stage. And I know sometimes parents just can't take care of them at that time, but it is your job and it is your commitment when you lay down to get the kid, for you to get up and raise the child. If you can't do good, if you can't provide for them right now, then work on trying to provide for them and be the best parent that you can be. Now, we know everybody's not mentally stable to be and mentally fit to be a parent, but those of you that are and just don't want to be, then you're gonna hate that you didn't take the time to step up and remain loyal to the responsibilities that you made. Men, if you have children scattered out, it is your responsibility to be a loyal dad. Keep in contact with those children. Make sure that when you are reaching out to them, you let them know that you love them, because they need that love. Loyalty with your children is very important, because they are our future and they're growing up and they need our support. They need our guidance. They need our teaching. That's what's wrong with the world today. The children need that support. They need you to be there to say, nope, you're not doing it today. Okay, so that's wrong. We're not doing that, and on down the line. Because kids, whether you believe it or not, I must tell you this, they love structure. It might not seem like they like it at first, but once they feel that there's boundaries, because they need boundaries and they love boundaries, whether they like it, and showing you that they like it now or not. But once you get past the point of trying to break the barriers and teach this kid something, they'll thank you later on. How do I know? Because I have some thanking me now. Because I had to stand up. I had to come out of friend mode, because you okay with your kids, but you got to be a parent first. So I'm loyal to being my kid's mother, and that's what makes the difference in their lives. Now, we know all children are not going to grow up and do what they're supposed to do, but because you done what you're supposed to do, this gives us relief, because it's like this: Lord, I've done my job. I've done what I can do. So now, God, I'm passing this on to you. Lord, protect them, and you be faithful in praying for your children, because it's going to take the prayers of the righteous for these children to make it. They're so lost, mixed up, misused, and abused, and they don't know what loyalty is, a lot of them, and they surely don't know what faithfulness and friendship is. And so let's make sure that we are teaching them these things, because we got to get back to the basics. When we were kids, you have to remember, we in school told friends things, and when we said things to them, if it made it all over the lunchroom before lunchtime was over, then we felt a certain way. So let me bring it on home before we close here. When I confide in you, when I tell you something, this is what you need to do whenever somebody comes to you with a problem. First off, we need to remember that we not God, so we're gonna have to take all our problems to God the Father. We gotta pray for our friends, and don't give them you, give them God. So sometimes we see in friendship the loyalty, like, girl, if you bust his tires, I'm gonna go bust them with you. I ain't talking about that, because that's not. Yeah, we don't need to do that. That's not right. But I am talking about being loyal to that friend. Be like, girl, I know you just upset, but that ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna keep doing what he doing anyway. Vice versa. Be like, man, I know you upset. Yeah, she cheated on you, but that's not gonna change nothing. So what you need to do is protect yourself and excuse her, because you know diseases is real. You're gonna tell them what's right to do. Not be like, well, she cheated, go cheat back. He cheated, go cheat back. That's not the thing to say, because that's not the thing to do. And loyalty brings forth truthfulness. And so I'm gonna be truthful with you whether you want to hear it or not. So you do what you want to, but as a friend, I gotta speak the mind of Christ to you. I gotta speak truthfulness. I gotta bless you with knowledge of you just upset right now, because a lot of times when people are upset, they're not thinking correctly, some of them. And so you're that lifeline for them to keep themselves together. And they'll come back later on and be like, you sure was right. I sure do. Thank you. And I appreciate you. And so knowing that makes you a good friend. That makes you loyal and faithful and just. Now, here's what to do if you've broken, mistreated your friend, because that is mistreatment. You've broken trust. You went past the stage of loyalty with disloyalty and so forth. And so now you're considered unfaithful. You can get that trust back. The only way to get out of something is to go through it. What am I saying? You got to admit that you did something wrong. A lot of times when you're in a relationship with the children, on your job, your spouse, and so forth down the line, it looks bad when you constantly say that you didn't do something when they know you did. So the first step is to ask for forgiveness. Make it right. Ask God for forgiveness next, because he said go to your brothers and sisters first. So after you ask for forgiveness, make a vow to your friend that you won't do this no more, because you see where you went wrong at. You got to point yourself out. Look, I messed up in this area. I'm sorry I did this to you. But if you give me another chance, because I really appreciate your friendship and you're very valuable to me, this is what I can bring to the table. And I will work hard to let you see this. I mean, even in your marriage, if you done stepped outside, you got to work on getting that trust back, because you're now, she's looking at you like you're disloyal. It's all about work. And it is, and your relationship is worth fighting for. So if you're trying to get them back, do all the necessary steps. Ask them, what does it take for us to get it right? What do you require? I'm listening. Right? Have down your pen and paper. Both of y'all write these things down, type it up, y'all sign it, put it in a plaque, and then y'all keep it put up somewhere. Because you want your friend in your life. I need you, you need me. We're all a part of God's body. Let us take this moment to sit back and think for a minute. Let us remember not to go back in time and to hold something against someone, but think about it for just a minute. How many times have someone been disloyal to you? How many times have you been disloyal? And when you have these thoughts like right now, and I'm not asking you to meditate on, I'm just asking you to think, if you can just think of a few. How did it feel? It didn't feel too good whenever it was being done to you. So with that being said, let us remember that when we are committed to our relationships with our friends, our spouses, our loved ones on the job, our children, and so forth, it doesn't feel good to be let down. Now I know sometimes things come up and you just can't get to it when you've given a promise to do something. But if you told that kid that you was going to go eat lunch with them today, please get up and go eat lunch with them today, because that makes them look at you like mama just talking. She done said this a million times. And they got feelings. And they gonna remember what you say, and they're not gonna take you serious, and they're gonna look at you like, and they're not gonna say it to you, but my dad or my mom's a liar, because they told me they was coming and they didn't come. Because just think of the heartbreak and the letdown when that kid is sitting there in the cafeteria looking for you and you don't show up. Especially if they told their friends, my mama coming today, my daddy coming today. This is just an example, because I know we can't go into schools right now. But then you don't show up. That's a real bad letdown with heartache and pain. Anyway, and kids, make sure you hold up your word to that. And so, thinking about how it felt, that makes me not want to be that way. And so, I in turn, when I tell my children something, or my husband, or whoever, I try to do what I said I'm going to do. And if I can't, I let you know about it. That's part of being loyal. And they're gonna be faithful to forgive you, or to let you know that, hey, we understand, and so forth. And that's just the give and take on the friendship, because these things are very important. They're very vital to our relationships, and this is something that's so little that could grow and become so very big and cause you to destroy your relationship, self-destruct. I also need to tell you guys about our other segments. We have the Sunday School, which we record every Wednesday, and it's uploaded every Thursday for you guys to get you ready for Sunday, for the Sunday School lesson. And then, then we have the classroom on Saturdays. We've also got a new segment on there from our mother at the church, where she comes on and have a women's meeting, and it's on Saturdays in the Saturday mornings at 11, and I think it's once a month. And we always will let you know what Saturday that is. Y'all come and join in on these other segments and allow God to bless you, because the classroom is on Saturday as well. And I've been cutting, me and my husband, we've been putting allowing people to speak and just cutting them loose, allowing God to have his way. And then we just talk and teach about holiness. Holiness is still right, and it's gonna take God for you to remain loyal and faithful in your everyday life. Now, until next time, may God bless.